This is one of those games where if he has a game where we come out and one half of people are saying, I thought he looked good, and the other half are saying, I thought he looked bad, I don't know that. I honestly don't know what the announcement would be on Monday, whether he gets another start.
I'm hoping we have one of those games where at the end of it, the president once again tweets out, I told you so. That's I'm hoping for one of those type exclamation point games where it's unequivocal. He looked the part. He looked exactly what you wanted. But not only do you have to look better than Cam Ward, that is like the starting point. Look better than Cam Ward in the 1v, what was supposed to be 1v2 matchup. But you have to.
1v 145.
Listen, I told you guys in March of last year, Cam Ward versus Shedeur Sanders, Titans versus Browns would happen, and I guess I wasn't wrong about that, was I?
I was right radio, baby.
I guess I was not wrong about that one.
Points to Peterlin.
So here's the thing, though. This has got to be another level. We have to continue to see him look good every single week, but he has to understand he can't go into this game thinking like he did last week, where I feel like it was almost like, well, the weather's bad, I'm not going to take shots, and I got 75 years to figure this out. No, you have to figure this out now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're talking about multiple touchdowns. I think we're talking about cracking 200 yards passing. I think it's that kind of thing you're looking for here. And again, like I keep hearing people talk about, the idea of, well, you got to look better each and every week. And it's like, that's not really how progress goes. Because the reality is every week in the NFL, especially at this part of the season, the variance between the best team you're going to face and the worst team you're going to face is significant. The Titans are the least talented team in the NFL. The Titans are the least motivated team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Your basic job here is just stay out of Jeffrey Simmons' way and make enough plays.
Well, and you're right to point out, I mean, even really good quarterbacks have dips of longer than the amazing thing. He's only been in this league for 2.5 games now.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about because EPA per play is such a brought up thing. My friends in Vegas love it. Obviously, they bring it up every chance they can get. And it's like, do you know who's fourth lowest in the previous 5 weeks? Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? There are definitely stretches that even perceived to be great quarterbacks go through just absolute lulls. Aaron Rodgers, everyone's like, oh, these 20-plus yard passes are so easy to complete. Aaron Rodgers hasn't completed a 20-plus yard pass in 5 weeks. It's been 5 weeks since he's done it, okay? You have really good quarterbacks that just go through these ups and these downs, but unfortunately for Shedeur, you don't get to have one of these 3, 4, 5 week stretches where you just don't play your best football. You have to be playing your best off the rip. This is how this works now with you.
You write anything, you tweet anything about Shedeur, and unless it's 100% positive or 100% negative, somebody is going to take umbrage with it. And, I've seen, specific to the crowd of, you've got to open up the game plan for Shedeur. And this, now it's no longer enough that he wasn't playing. Now you've got to go ahead and every 5 plays have to be a 90-yard pass down the field. And it's like, guys, he is a rookie. And I actually will say, even though I don't necessarily agree with everything they're doing, specifically the way they play called in the second half, I thought really did not help Shedeur at all. But in fairness, Shedeur also didn't take shots down the field. He didn't go ahead and make those plays, and he didn't make the easy plays that were around him. But this is a game where when we say Shedeur's got to have his best game isn't just, one, he's got to bring back those 1 to 2 shots a quarter. But if Jerry Jeudy is open and there's a tight throw, you got to make at least one of those a quarter as well.
Yeah, I think they will. I think what happened in this last game is, they only had a handful of possessions in the second half, and they didn't run enough plays. Ultimately, each drive was just 5 plays, 7 plays, 6 plays, and it wasn't enough plays within the drive to actually see him try to facilitate an offense. And so I would imagine
I would actually real quick disagree with you on that, because there were plays on the field.
No. I mean the number of plays, the actual number of plays. Like in the drives that they had, there was it was 5 plays in the drive, 7 plays in the drive, 6 plays in the drive. Like they didn't have any of these 10, 11, 12 play drives. And so I'm just talking more about the more plays you have, the more opportunities, obviously, for shots.
Well, no, that's fair, but I would say, in that game, in that 49ers game, every game isn't the same, right? That's a better defense, as banged up as they are. That is a better defense and a better coached defense, better coached in general than what you've got against Tennessee. But, those would have gone from a 5-play drive to a 10-play drive. if Shador had hit. I'm trying to think of the scene play.
I think that's where they got tight, though, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Like, I feel like, and this is also was what led to them going for it on that 4th and 1, is because on the 30 is because they weren't extending out these drives at all, and the plays were the drives they were getting were 5 plays long, 6 plays long, and I really feel like that's why they went for it, because I think Stefanski didn't want to see another drive that ended with such few amount of plays and how limiting that can be, and then I think ultimately then you got tight, and then before you know it, you blink and the game is over.
I don't know if this is a hot take. I don't know if it's a lukewarm take. I think it's something I'm going to throw out to you, though. There is a part of me, though, because this game looks like such an opportunity. KJ Winston's a nice football player. Obviously, Jeffrey Simmons. Anything anyone said about us wasting Myles Garrett, you can say what they're doing with Jeffrey Simmons, because he is one of the absolute best interior defensive linemen in the NFL, and it just... Who knows? Who cares? Because of the organization
awesome.
He plays for.
He's legitimately awesome.
And he's one of the concerns I have in this game for Shador, given Shador's proclivity to hold onto the ball too long. Those guys, especially a guy you're coaching to step up into the pocket more, well, what's the one thing that can negate all of that? Jeffrey Simmons. However, outside of those two players, this game sets up as the ultimate opportunity. But I think the Browns know that too. And so I don't know if this is a hot take, but there's a part of me that feels like Shador is playing for his ability to start the final 4 games on Sunday. And if he had a bad game or a step back or however you want to quantify it, if the Browns deem it not good enough, it wouldn't surprise me if it was somebody else starting the next week after that.
I want to touch on the nitty-gritty football stuff for a second, and then we can get to the big picture there. You mentioned Simmons. I think that's worthwhile and good to know. But like T'Vondre Sweat right next to him, like the two of them have been having really, like, I joked yesterday about them not having many players, but it's the two of them. And like, whereas Shador struggled when he actually ends up having the pocket collapse on him and it seems like things are going sideways, it happened, the same thing in the 49ers game. It's when you get pressure up the middle. Yeah. The Ravens game too, same thing. And so like, I think that's going to be a big key in this one is making sure that you're able to stop those two guys from actually getting after them and doing it up the middle. And so that's why we talk about the guard situation. We'll talk about it later on today. Like, it's such an important part of this game. All right, so how did you end that? I'm sorry.
Basically, I think if Shador doesn't have a game that they deem good enough, it wouldn't surprise me if they announced a different starter for the next game after that.
All right, who are we going to if that's the case then? Are we going to Dillon? Are we going to Deshaun? Or are we going to Bailey Zappi?
No earthly idea.
Okay, yeah, because that's where that's the hard part I have in this discussion is that, like, I don't know who you'd go off to and then be able to make the case that, like, you somehow are even putting up more of a worthwhile fight.
I mean, I think Kevin would go back to Dillon Gabriel if he could. I still don't think. I mean, it was clear as day in the San Francisco game. It's 1st and 20. Dillon has to come in for one game, and he throws to the line. I've never been more pissed off about one single play that a backup has done in the history of football than that jabroni coming in on 1st and 20 and immediately stalling the offense with the dumbest throw.
I thought it was going to be picked.
That, by the way, that's a great point that I keep forgetting to make, is it was also a bad decision. However, I don't think Kevin views him that way.
No, I don't think he does either, and I would think Stefanski would want to get him back in. I don't disagree with the premise, though. The premise is that Shador has to look good this weekend. This is, unless we have crazy weather, which Al Roker in the box behind us says maybe it'll be all right. Then I feel like
wait. Give him 5 minutes to get the National Weather Service up. He's looking at his phone. He's a space cadet. Jeez,
he's playing Pokemon Go.
Mac is having like the Tennessee Titans of the last 15 minutes. Now he's looking at me like, yeah, you don't know what we're talking about because you weren't looking at the damn. Oh.
Now he gets really serious in his chair. Like, I got it. What's fun is if we refer to him as something that he isn't, his brain won't pop up to be like they're calling to me. When I call him Al Roker in the box, he just completely missed it.
Did I give it away by saying Mac? I shouldn't have said Mac.
Yeah, that's all right. But anyway,
I forgive you.
Unless there's crazy winds or crazy whatever, he's got to look good this weekend. Like, you're running out of time. This is you being a 5th-round pick. This is the luxury you don't get. You don't get to have the long leash that other first-round quarterbacks have to try to go through the ups and the downs. Like Cam Ward, gets to go through what has been a really horrendous rookie season. And he'll get to go through this season, and he'll probably get to go through next season with a new head coach, and he's going to have a chance to figure it out because he was taken number 1 overall. You don't get that same benefit, Shador, and you know that. And that's why last week being timid was such a surprise to me, because that's not in your game. It's not what you do, and it shouldn't be the approach you take. That's why I thought it was important that on Wednesday, he not only acknowledged that, but you could tell was insistent that you won't see that type of a version of him on Sunday.
Yeah, and I also think like there has to be some part of Kevin Stefanski that still just doesn't buy into Shador. Maybe working hand to hand these last 2 weeks. I do wonder if getting to see the commitment that Shador's put in there. I do wonder if that's earned a little bit of love.
He did accidentally say he was outstanding.
I think he meant that for Deshaun Watson. I think, but
little Freudian slip.
I still think we're early enough into this that I still think there's a heavy preference for Dillon Gabriel, and I still wouldn't be surprised if there's an element of Kevin who internally would like to say I was right. You can't do it publicly because
I hate this for Kevin. If that's true, I hate that for him, because getting it right and being right should all be just let's get Shador to be the guy. But it's not. If he doesn't believe that, he knows how the world views this quarterback competition. They view it as Dillon was your guy, Shador isn't your guy, and there's no going to be erasing that. So I don't disagree. Like in the back of his mind, I think he would take some sense of, okay, I told you guys. Like when Mary Kay in that clip referencing how it's like, well, he's beaten to the time of being able to even see the field. It's like that's what Stefanski will tell you if he makes that move.
I would rather see Shador for 6 games and Dillon for 3 games.
For sure.
I thought it was interesting. Jeremy Fowler, I can't remember what he was on, but basically the other day, and it's interesting because I've wanted to say it, but I've already piled enough on Dillon, but he was like, I don't even know the kid's a long-term backup in the NFL.
I don't know why people think that's just an assumption. There's nothing in 6 games that he showed me that says that he is a long-term backup.
Is it just that he can't start, so he must be a backup? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
He's unplayable and as a starter, so that means he's a backup, or he just doesn't belong in the NFL.
I mean, I almost lost my mind when Brugler was trying to compare Mendoza to basically just a more athletic version of Dillon Gabriel today.
We got to talk to our guy, Dane.
People loved Dillon Gabriel in college. They just didn't love his height. The same thing we didn't love, and there's a reason why none of this translates.